Distance 1,200 meters. Muzzle velocity 869 meters per second. Flight time 1.5 seconds. That is the exact mathematical window between life and death. But before the physics of ballistics take over, there is the Phantom. They are United States Army snipers, human apex predators engineered for the unforgiving modern battlefield. They operate exclusively in the shadows, neutralizing high-value targets long before the enemy ever registers their presence. The boundary separating a confirmed kill from a catastrophic miss is not determined by pure luck. It is decided by their deliberate, calculated trigger pull, weighing exactly 1.5 kilograms. Welcome to the cold, unforgiving mathematics of violence. Their primary surgical instrument is the M2010 Enhanced Sniper Rifle, chambered in the devastating .300 Winchester Magnum cartridge. Pushing a 220-grain bullet with a high ballistic coefficient, it defies wind drift and maintains supersonic flight well past a kilometer. Mounted directly above the upper receiver is the loopholed Mark IV variable optic, pushing a 5 to 25 power magnification. Positioned directly in front of the daytime glass is the AN/PVS 30 clip-on night vision device. It operates in true zero-light environments by catching scarce ambient photons and amplifying them through a gallium arsenide photocathode tube. This advanced system lets them absolutely dominate the darkness out to 1,200 meters without ever shifting their established cheek weld. The free-floating barrel and aircraft-grade aluminum chassis seamlessly channel 3,800 joules of raw recoil energy linearly straight back into the collapsible buttstock. To their left sits the M1110 semi-automatic sniper system. Chambered in 7.62 by 51mm NATO, it runs the loopholed Mark V optic with a 3.5 to 18 power magnification, designed for rapid surgical follow-up shots. But all this precision-cut glass and metal is just dead weight without the organic processor operating behind it. Can you keep your eyes unblinking for 3 minutes straight, knowing a ticking time bomb is aimed right at you? The human body is inherently unstable. Under extreme combat stress, the baseline heart rate naturally spikes to 140 beats per minute. Cortisol and adrenaline flood the bloodstream, causing involuntary muscle spasms. A professional sniper must actively biohack their own autonomic nervous system. They rigorously train to artificially plummet their heart rate down to exactly 50 beats per minute, even amidst deafening enemy artillery fire. The rifle is cold steel, but their cardiovascular system is the true operating system. They apply continuous pressure in the exact 0.8-second diastolic pause between two individual heartbeats. If a single arterial pulse throbs through their index finger, while the firing pin drops, the muzzle deflects by just 2 millimeters. At a distance of 1,200 meters, that microscopic tremor geometrically expands, resulting in a total miss. Everything converges into a single, flawless fraction of a second. The chaos of the battlefield completely fades away. Absolute synchronization takes over the mind and the body. They press their orbital bone firmly against the ocular lens. The etched glass crosshairs cleanly bisect the center of mass. Their lungs slowly empty exactly 70% of their oxygen capacity, stabilizing the diaphragm. The internal rhythm inside their chest slows down. Thump, a deliberate pause. The surrounding world goes completely silent. The sear cleanly disengages inside the trigger mechanism. The .300 Winchester Magnum violently erupts from the barrel. A precision shot requires absolute, unwavering focus. To lock onto the highest tier of military knowledge, gently hit the like and subscribe buttons. That is how you equip your own tactical vision on this chaotic digital battlefield of information. But the world's most devastating weapon is useless if the operator is detected before firing. So how does a human carrying exactly 65 pounds of gear completely evaporate in an open field? The answer lies in the meticulous calculus of their rucksack. Depending on the mission profile, a sniper carries either a fighting load optimized for deployments under 72 hours or an approach load engineered for extended durations. This equipment weighs anywhere from 35 to 65 pounds, excluding the weight of survival water, but the true masterpiece of their stealth infiltration is the Ghillie suit. It is not merely a garment, it is a highly engineered, wearable spectral illusion. The golden ratio of visual deception is strictly maintained at exactly 30% artificial jute and 70% natural vegetation. The artificial jute acts merely as a foundational filler, breaking up the instantly recognizable human silhouette. The remaining 70% is harvested from the immediate operational environment, secured tightly using 550 paracord and elastic hair ties. To ensure rapid tactical deployment, The ghillie pants feature full-length lateral zippers, allowing them to be donned in seconds without ever removing thick combat boots. The front torso and knees are heavily reinforced with rugged, friction-resistant canvas and high-denier cordura nylon, designed specifically to withstand the brutal, flesh-tearing friction of an extended low crawl. But the suit is merely the canvas. The human body is the biological frame actively enduring the torment. Carrying 65 pounds of weight is not a hike. It is a biomechanical nightmare. When a sniper executes a low crawl over 5 kilometers of saturated mud, the immense mechanical pressure localized directly on the L4 and L5 lumbar vertebrae reaches critical levels. Every single inch gained requires a grueling, punishing isometric contraction of the core and latissimus dorsi muscles. They do not simply walk into a final firing position. They meticulously drag their skeleton into it, moving at a painstakingly slow rate of mere fractions of an inch per minute. This microscopic pace is absolutely mandatory to avoid triggering the enemy's peripheral vision, which is biologically hardwired to instantly detect lateral motion. Then comes the invisible psychological warfare of the microenvironment. If you had to carry 30 kilograms on your back and drag your stomach through thick mud for 8 uninterrupted hours, at exactly what hour would your mind shatter and force you to quit? The true enemy during a stealth stalk is not always an incoming supersonic bullet. It is the relentless, maddening assault of the microscopic environment. Swarms of fire ants, venomous centipedes, and blood-sucking leeches inevitably infiltrate the damp collar of the ghillie suit. A normal human reflexively swats, violently twitches, or aggressively scratches the burning skin. A sniper absolutely cannot. A single micro flinch, a sudden involuntary jerk to swat a mosquito feeding directly on the eyelid, generates unnatural, sweeping, kinetic energy in the surrounding foliage. That minor localized movement is an absolute, unavoidable death sentence. They must intensely train their brain to completely disassociate from excruciating physical discomfort. The mind must purposefully achieve a state of absolute psychological merging with the earth. They do not just wear dead leaves. Their brain must fundamentally believe the biological body has become an inanimate cold rock. They purposefully regulate their shallow breathing to manage core body temperatures, slowly lowering their thermal signature to perfectly blend in with the ambient 22 degrees Celsius soil, actively defeating forward-looking infrared sensors mounted on enemy reconnaissance drones. The ultimate terrifying test of this spectral intelligence always arrives unexpectedly. An enemy foot patrol, heavily armed with automatic weapons, advances aggressively through the dense brush. The distance closes rapidly. 50 meters, 20 meters, 10 meters. The sniper violently compresses their body into the saturated earth, flattening their profile to the molecular level. Their breathing completely stops. The ghillie suit's natural vegetation perfectly absorbs the ambient sunlight, entirely eliminating the distinct dark shadows that inevitably betray a three-dimensional human form. The enemy combatant's heavy combat boot lands exactly 2 meters away from the sniper's optical lens. The violent snapping crunch of dry twigs is deafening. The sniper's finger remains flawlessly motionless. No sudden movements, no spiked heart rate, just the cold, calculating stillness of an apex predator turned phantom. The enemy soldier pauses, visually sweeping the exact geographic coordinate where the sniper lies. The human eye naturally searches for geometric symmetry, for broad shoulders, for a helmet. It finds nothing. The enemy turns away, registering only a decaying dead bush. Successful concealment is the raw art of survival, but to actually eliminate a target, you need mathematics, when the most advanced electronic machines inevitably turn against you. What does the human brain use to battle the unpredictable forces of nature? The answer is an ironclad reliance on the analog mind in an increasingly fragile digital warfare era. Modern military doctrines are utterly dominated by invisible electromagnetic spectrums and advanced electronic warfare. The primary calculation tool for a sniper is the Kestrel 5700 Elite Weather Meter, integrated directly with applied ballistics software. This handheld supercomputer instantly processes crucial atmospheric variables. It precisely measures absolute barometric pressure down to the millibar, relative humidity, ambient temperature, and exact aerodynamic drag models. It provides the exact firing solution to precisely hit a moving target at 1,000 meters. This device recalculates spin drift and the Coriolis effect in milliseconds. However, relying exclusively on an electronic microchip is a fatal tactical error. The Pentagon explicitly prohibits snipers from becoming totally dependent on digital ballistic solvers. In a near-peer conflict, Sophisticated enemy jammers will aggressively saturate the battlefield with localized electromagnetic interference. When the microchips are fried and the LCD screens suddenly go completely black, the sniper must seamlessly revert to raw mathematical instinct. This is precisely where the analog clipboard becomes the most lethal instrument in the rucksack. Secured with a waterproof weather flap, it holds meticulously maintained range cards, data books, and the legendary mill relation formula. This tactical equation bypasses all electronic dependencies. This formula is the absolute bedrock of sniper mathematics. It is mathematically elegant and ruthlessly effective. To determine the exact distance to an unknown target, the sniper takes the estimated target size in inches, multiplies it by the constant factor of 25.4, and divides that total by the exact milliradian reading observed through the reticle. Amidst a devastating hail of incoming supersonic bullets, do you trust the glowing screen of a delicate microchip, or your hardened intuition, and the graphite pencil securely gripped in your hand? A master sniper can execute this complex arithmetic calculation entirely inside their head in under 4 seconds, even while concussive shockwaves relentlessly assault their eardrums. But calculations alone do not pull triggers. Physical stability does. For those finite fractional micro-adjustments, the sniper deploys a rear shooting bag. Positioned strategically under the toe of the rifle's buttstock, it is constantly manipulated by the non-firing hand. By subtly squeezing or relaxing the bag, the sniper meticulously alters the rifle's elevation by fractions of a millimeter. Whether filled with specialized polymer beads or improvised sand, this simple tool perfectly locks the weapon's geometric angle into place. This mitigates vertical stringing and guarantees absolute ballistic alignment across extreme distances. Sustaining this intense level of neuromuscular control requires immense biochemical fuel. After 72 excruciating hours of zero sleep and relentless hypervigilance, cognitive degradation is a biological certainty. This is where the standard meal ready to eat, or MRE, transitions from simple logistics into vital psychological salvation. The human brain consumes massive amounts of glucose under extreme combat stress. The heavily processed meatballs and marinara sauce do not just deliver 500 essential calories of instant energy. That vacuum-sealed foil pouch fundamentally acts as an emotional anchor. The intense burst of sodium and carbohydrates rapidly replenishes depleted glycogen stores inside the brain, instantly sharpening blurred vision and fighting off severe auditory hallucinations. It is a vital tether to reality, keeping the sniper from slipping into absolute combat psychosis. The ultimate test of this extreme mental conditioning strikes without warning. An enemy armored column aggressively advances, deploying a massive localized electronic jamming radius. The Kestrel 5700 Elite instantly flickers and dies. The digital laser rangefinder completely fails. The sniper is completely isolated in the analog domain. They quickly glance down at the sweat-soaked data book. The target is an enemy commander standing exposed. The sniper utilizes the mill relation formula, calculating the precise distance at 845 meters. Without a digital wind meter, the brain processes the surrounding environmental data. They observe the exact vibration frequency of the tall grass and the precise angle of a distant dust cloud. The brain rapidly calculates a steady 12-mile-per-hour full-value crosswind. The non-firing hand expertly squeezes the rear bag, elevating the crosshairs exactly 3.2 milliradians. The heavy trigger breaks. The supersonic projectile impacts dead center. The target violently collapses. The analog mind conclusively defeats the digital shield, proving that true lethality always resides within the highly trained human. The primary mission is officially accomplished. The high-value target has been successfully neutralized, but now an enraged, fully armed enemy battalion is aggressively closing in. When the primary ammunition runs completely dry, what primitive but brutal weapon does a sniper rely on to violently tear through the encirclement and return from the dead? To survive the brutal realities of the escape and evasion doctrine, a sniper relies entirely on primal tools and unyielding human endurance. When the primary objective is complete and ammunition is severely depleted, their psychological state must instantly shift from being an apex hunter to becoming an untraceable ghost. The ambient temperature plummets violently after dusk, demanding the immediate tactical deployment of the waffle-patterned thermal top. This specific grid fleece traps pockets of dead air directly against the torso, retaining critical core body heat. Over this layer, the heavy waterproof poncho is rapidly deployed. It acts as an impenetrable shield against severe hypothermia and doubles efficiently as a hasty tactical shelter. But warmth alone cannot sustain a biological organism pushing its absolute physiological limits. A sniper utilizes a compact tactical water purifier capable of filtering out exactly 99.9% of waterborne protozoa and deadly bacteria. They will unhesitatingly pump thick mud from a contaminated puddle directly into a Nalgene bottle just to strictly maintain cellular hydration. The dense wilderness is meticulously weaponized, using a rugged survival knife, heavy-duty pruning shears, and a highly portable hand chainsaw. This specific chainsaw is essentially a sharpened steel chain, permanently equipped with durable wrist straps capable of quietly ripping straight through a solid 4-inch tree limb in under 20 seconds. Alongside 550-pound test military-grade paracord, these analog tools are not just utilized to construct hidden, fortified hides. They are purposefully utilized to maliciously manipulate the physical environment, actively creating complex physical barriers and dangerously elevated tripwires. This meticulously breaks the relentless physical momentum of enemy tracker dogs and violently disrupts the visual tracking lines of pursuing enemy infantry. Every intentionally broken branch and carefully placed obstacle is a devastating psychological strike directly against the enemy's aggressive will to chase. If you could strictly keep only one single item to successfully escape a heavily infested, enemy-occupied forest, would you instinctively choose the lethal survival knife or the tactical water purifier? In a highly desperate evasion scenario, raw, primal fear intensely floods the human nervous system. Untrained infantry soldiers inevitably panic, rapidly burn excessive calories, and consistently make fatal acoustic mistakes. A highly trained elite sniper violently suppresses this overwhelming primal terror. They strictly operate with a cold, terrifyingly calculated mindset. They systematically analyze their rapidly dwindling biological reserves, completely ignoring the excruciating lactic acid cramps violently ripping through their dehydrated muscles. The sniper essentially becomes an empty tactical vessel operating purely on ingrained survival mechanics. The suffocating darkness of a pitch-black night aggressively descends upon the dense surrounding forest. An enraged, heavily armed enemy company rapidly tightens the final deadly encirclement. They mercilessly sweep the freezing tree line using advanced, forward-looking infrared thermal optics. The isolated sniper is heavily pinned down, permanently cornered against an impassable rocky ravine. The ambient temperature rapidly drops below freezing. The sniper reaches deep into their tactical vest and carefully retrieves the final critical lifeline, the infrared strobe. Powered simply by a standard 9-volt battery, this tiny beacon emits a blinding optical flash every single second. It remains completely invisible to the naked human eye, but instantly shines exactly like a massive burning sun through advanced night vision goggles. The dark sky violently roars. A heavily armed UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter aggressively tears straight through the pitch-black night. It violently banks, diving aggressively straight toward the rapidly flashing infrared coordinates, instantly unleashing a deafening, terrifying wall of suppressive minigun fire. The naked, brutal truth of the modern battlefield is finally revealed. All the expensive, precision-cut, glass-forged titanium rifles and advanced ballistic microcomputers do not actually create a lethal sniper. Every piece of high-tech gear is simply a fragile, highly disposable tool. Digital radios die. Expensive optics shatter. Precision barrels overheat. The absolute ultimate, most dangerous and devastatingly precise weapon on the modern battlefield is the highly trained human brain paired with an unbreakable iron will. Everything else can and will eventually fail except the primal human instinct to fiercely survive. In the end, true resilience is an art forged entirely within the mind. If you found value in exploring this quiet strength and the raw, untold truths of those who operate in the shadows, please take a gentle moment to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your quiet support is the beacon that allows us to continue unraveling the deepest, most authentic stories of human endurance and elite military strategy together.